flaming eyes. All right, here we go. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Blackout Test Podcast. I'm your host, Rod, and I am surrounded by the love of
Karen.
That's right. Oh, how'd you know to say that? And we are ready.
You've been trying to switch it up on me. I was like, okay, is the sentence going to continue on? I wasn't sure. I wanted to be sure.
And we are live. You can find us everywhere you get podcasts. The official weapon of the show is
the taser,
and the unofficial sport, bullet ball extreme. And today's podcast is brought to you by ManScaped. That's right. Let's just give ManScaped their things right now. ManScaped. It's time for fantasy football. Okay.
It is.
But speaking of balls, what about the balls that are always on the field? The ones between your legs.
Always in action.
Okay. Tom Brady isn't the only one that can stack the deck by manipulating balls.
He ain't the only one looking for a touchdown.
Okay. You need to touch downstairs with ManScaped. That's right. They are the leader in below the waist grooming, and they have created a championship lineup with that performance package 4.0. I started my fantasy football season yesterday, and unless Russell Wilson scores 90 million points tonight, I'm probably going to lose. But I'll always be winning because I groom with ManScaped, okay? I use the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, you know, the one where it's got the 4K LED amazing light that lets you see everything going on downstairs, a 7,000 RPM motor. That's a lot of RPMs, y'all. And they got the new multi-function on-off switch that can engage a travel lock, so you don't have to worry about trying to get through the TSA and it's like, what's going on in your bag? Let me check what's going on over there. So you can get all that stuff, and plus like the weed whacker and a bunch of like crop reviver, crop preserver, but just a bunch of stuff. And it's really cool bag that's easy to travel carry with you at all times. Manscaped.com. But what do I get, Rod? That's a good question. I'm glad you asked. You get 20% off plus free shipping when you use code TBGWT at manscaped.com. TBGWT at manscaped.com. That's how we get down, and that's how you get all the good deals. All right. Now let's get into the show. There's plenty of stuff to talk about. Coronavirus.
Again? Look, here we go again. We got variants. Really need to keep a mask on hand and follow the plan. Get the vaccine and second shots, whether woman or man. Black out who tips is doing their part, but the dummies expand. Niggas would rather believe a bunch of misinformation. Fuck y'all idiots not getting shots. Now we gotta regress. If we keep going in this direction, we never can rest. Never can get back to the lives we be living the best. Damn fool, stop the lying, stop the intubation crying, cause it's your fault that motherfuckers dying. Damn fool, stop the lying, stop the ventilator crying, cause it's your fault that motherfuckers dying. I do not understand this shit. I'm not a fan of this. We were like one win from the pandemic championship, but fuckers wanna leave it to game 7 with Giannis Delta Kumpo blocking forward progression and Chris middle fingers to your plans, man. Damn. Looks like it's no Drew holiday for you and your mans. I'm sick of black people dying for real, so I'm just writing this new piece to let you know how I feel. Coronavirus, yeah. Fuck that COVID-19, it's unseen, it's creeping in the air for you to breathe, yeah. So fuck that COVID-19, it's unseen, it's creeping in the air for you to breathe, yeah.
Coronavirus news, y'all know what it is. Okay, let's talk about it. It's only 3 articles today.
Okay.
The first one is from time.com, and it's such an alarmist headline, but when I read the article, it wasn't alarming at all.
Oh, they love to do that shit. That's that clickbait stuff. It's like what they're saying is very important, but a lot of times what they do, they'll overstate it or phrase the wording in a certain way where it almost makes you panic, and then you're like, okay, this is not as bad. It's like, it's important, but y'all sounded like the sky was falling.
So it was, you can still get long COVID if you're vaccinated and boosted, which is something that would be pretty disturbing, I think, for most of us that have been vaccinated, boosted.
Agreed.
It's like, damn, I'm trying to avoid COVID. I'm trying to avoid long COVID. But we all know you can get COVID, and we all know you can get long COVID if you get COVID, right? It's possible.
Right.
But then kind of hidden in the article is like, well, we also know that the odds of getting it if you're vaccinated are much lower.
Right.
Which is, why didn't you say that? Why is the title not
nobody would have clicked?
Vaccinated and boosted people have much lower chance to catch long COVID. Yeah. I just don't understand.
Everything is clickbait. So, and I've realized that even a lot more of the places where you wouldn't think they would do that are starting to do that, where everything is almost like a Twitter hashtag thread or a TikTok topic, and you're like, bitch, you're supposed to be the real news. Why does this sound like something crazy just for me to click?
Yeah, this isn't until 4 paragraphs in that they go, that's not to say vaccines are useless against long COVID. A research review published, because some of the stuff they were talking about earlier hasn't been peer reviewed, but published in the eClinical Medicine in August, analyzed a mix of peer reviewed and preprint studies, 6 of which looked at whether people who were vaccinated before they got infected had a lower chance of developing long COVID than unvaccinated people who got sick. All 6 studies concluded that vaccinated people are at a lower risk.
Correct.
Like, that's the point. Like, we're never going to get to COVID zero. So
right.
I don't think anyone at this point who's gotten vaccinated or boosted walks out the house to go, I'm immune to COVID. I can do whatever I want. No vaccine really works that way. Mm-mm. These are actually the highest efficacy vaccines we've ever produced as humanity.
Yes.
And even then, it's like, there's no zero. In fact, to get to zero would require almost everybody just voluntarily going to get vaccinated, and we're very far from that. Mm-hmm. Vaccinated people were up to 50% less likely to develop long COVID after a breakthrough infection compared to unvaccinated people who got COVID-19. So, like,
mm-hmm. And it's a reason why they waited 4 paragraphs in, because you know what? They know most people ain't gonna read that far.
Right, most people are just gonna share this headline, and mm-hmm. the part that bothers me is the amount of people who are unvaccinated, anti-vax, and they will use this headline as evidence of like those vaccines don't even do shit, and that's a lot of people, and it just pissed me off. That's all.
Mm-hmm. I can see that, because it justifies their ignorance, when actually, if they would have read the article, it literally is anti the shit that they represent.
Yeah, it just pissed me off. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's kind of irresponsible for time to put it that way.
Right.
And maybe they wouldn't have got as many clicks if they didn't write it if they wrote it the way I think they should be written. But mm-hmm. I think journalism around COVID needs to be a lot more responsible than some of the shit that they play fast and loose with.
I agree.
The new COVID booster could be the last you'll need for a year, federal officials say. So basically, they're thinking, barring any new variant curveballs, for a large majority of Americans, we're moving to the point where a single annual COVID shot should provide a high degree of protection against serious illness all year long.
Yeah, it's going to be like the flu shot. So moving forward, when I get the next booster, which will be a year from now, unless that changes, I'm going to go ahead and get my flu shot at the same time. I just knock them out both at the same time.
Yeah, variant could change this. Mm-hmm. So you always have to keep your eyes on the news, and I'm sure, the Pfizer, Moderna, and all these companies will be keeping an eye on that. But I mean, I think this is progress, or a sign of progress, that it's not going to be something where it's going to be every few months, for every 5 to 6 months for the rest of our lives. Mm-hmm. But we'll see if we'll see how these boosters hold up once people start getting them and stuff. Alarming 2021 pandemic death counts in New Brunswick. This is out of Canada. Those death counts have been retracted, and a lot of people are very skeptical of this and somewhat upset. It's because they have like a new government that came in, like new elections and people came in, mm-hmm. and the new government people are more like conservative, and so they're like those death counts that we were saying were COVID related, we're taking hundreds fewer people. We're gonna say like it's a lot less now.
Yeah, and I don't trust you, because it's one of those things where it's COVID related, so it actually needs to count. but they do that to make the numbers lower, so the dumbasses will be like, the numbers ain't that bad, when that's not the reality of it. Even here in the States, even before we hit a million, we've been past that number in my mind, because you there's a lot of people who didn't want to be classified, was misclassified, purposely unclassified, and put on all these other categories to make numbers look good.
In July, Statistics Canada released estimates showing 8,138 people had passed away in New Brunswick during the first 50 weeks of 2021. The number shattered previous records and was calculated to be 567 more deaths than would have been expected in a normal non-pandemic year. That appeared to show that COVID-19 pandemic was taking a much larger human toll on New Brunswick residents than official government counts of COVID deaths were recording. And it triggered sharper questioning in the legislature and expressions of concern from public health officials.
Right.
However, on Thursday, Statistics Canada released new estimates lowering the death total to 7,271. That's 866 fewer deaths than they reported in July.
Ooh.
And now puts fatalities in New Brunswick lower than normal, not higher. So during the pandemic, they're saying during that year, even in a pandemic, they had lower deaths than normal.
And everybody going, that's impossible.
There have been no similar revisions in other provinces. Explanations from Statistics Canada has been limited, but appear to focus on ongoing problems it has been having with the quality of mortality information being provided to it by New Brunswick.
Y'all better be careful. Y'all got people up there fucking with y'all paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's one of them things, but the numbers is the numbers. Like, it's one of those things where regardless of how you feel about the shit, people dying from this is a fact. It's not, COVID don't give a fuck about how you feel. It's a fact. And it's one of those things where when you start adding politics, you start adding money, you start adding people running again, everybody gets scared and they be wanting to fudge the numbers, but it's not good for the public safety, because then you have people going, what if the numbers ain't that bad? Fuck it, I do what I want to do. And then people really do start dropping like flies. What are you going to do? Continue to lie about the numbers, continue to lower the numbers, so you're fucking up the populace, even the people that's voting for you? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Moriarty said the involvement of multiple provincial and federal bodies in the construction of death estimates in New Brunswick make identifying where the problem in the numbers lies difficult, but she doubted Statistics Canada alone is to blame. This is another way to erode faith in these institutions, much like people feel about the CDC. When you go through, like, when people say, I have no faith in the CDC and I have no faith in the Biden administration, and then you go through like, okay, so when did you lose faith in the CDC? What is it? And when you start going through the list, it's almost like 90% of the shit started under Republicans. And then it's like, but then when things started to get better, or the Biden administration said things were better, they're like, and that counts too as a reason not to trust the CDC or the government. And I think a lot of times it's self-fulfilling prophecy. It's like Republicans or conservatives get in power, they blatantly fuck with shit so that the public goes, we know you're fucking with it, now we can't trust it. And then they're like, oh well, like, that's what we said, you can't trust these institutions, only listen to us, we're the only people telling you the truth. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, that's just wild. That,
and I can see the populace getting highly upset about that, going, don't lie to us.
Yeah, I don't know what you're gonna do, but yeah, so that's the coronavirus segment, everybody. Everybody's least favorite segment,
right?
Let's see what other news we got going on in the world today. Aries Spears.
What happened?
Apparently has a podcast or something.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Called Spears and Steinberg or something like that. And he was talking about all the stuff that happened with him and this lawsuit that's coming. And I guess he felt like I guess he feels, it didn't sound remorseful, but sad that this is happening to him. Like, this is his
and I thought that was interesting.
I think he was talking about his mom or something.
During the storm, your fans love and support you, and they are always make that obvious. She meant to say they will Mom, I got to give you a $10 a lot of my mama. God damn. This is the same woman that made me do book reports in the summer to make sure that we were on point in terms of articulation and verbal skills. But you know where my mother's from?
Yeah.
Mississippi. My mother's from Jackson, goddammit. Handle this with the APOM that defines your character. Haters have to have freedom too. It's a bitch. You'll be richer for the hardships in every way.
So I guess this is his mom saying that, you know, like her words of encouragement for him.
You're still discovering who you are. And I think when you said that, that's why I went, and I wanted to tell it to you right then and there, but I was like, nah, let me save it for the emails. Because she said that. You're still evolving into your prime. And I thought that was interesting that you said it and my mother echoed it. Or better yet, she said it and you echoed it.
So he's talking about his co-host and his mom saying the same thing about him evolving and all this stuff. Then he starts talking about his career.
I just went, yeah. And I'm going to tell you something. As much as I'm nervous, as much as I, in the back of my mind, because I already felt like my career was over before all this. I felt I was blackballed and my shit was over. But I always said I felt like I was one thing away from the turnaround. But now,
by the way, I feel like that's why he was talking reckless like that for years.
Oh yeah, because I can see him going on. I've been in the industry for years, and it's kind of one of those things where everybody, not trying to be funny, the industry is designed to keep you in there, and everybody makes everybody think that they are one slot away from that big break. And for some people it's true, and for some people it's not. And when you think that it's it and it just never comes, or at least in your mind it never comes, or you're not satisfied with where you are, wherever you are, and then just grow from there, you become angry, you become bitter, you become upset when you see people bypass you and get these spots that you may feel like they don't deserve. And I think a lot of the things he spits out in the atmosphere comes from that.
Yeah, I think I think he's been bitter, and then I think he thought he quote unquote was out of the game and was never getting a chance, so he was like, let me just talk reckless about everybody, which I think a lot of people do. I think a lot of people that aren't famous, the reason they talk the shit they talk is because in their minds, it's like, I'm never gonna be nobody.
Right.
So the things I say don't matter and don't count.
You're not gonna be on the record.
If I can be as mean and nasty as I want to be, and then when their 15 minutes of fame comes up, you see that milkshake duck where people like, hey, did you see these old things this person said? And it's like, that's when I didn't know I would be somebody. Lil Nas X had that happen.
Yeah, because he publicly said, I used to be a professional. Like, I'm a troll, y'all. Like, I used to troll bad.
Yeah, Doja Cat. Like, there's just a bunch of people where it's just like you can watch the line go from like, oh shit, I was nobody, just saying the same shit y'all be saying. And of course, these people come down on them and exercise that meanness. But yes, it's interesting. He would
now with this, I'm almost certain that Tombstone is written. But something, and maybe this is me being naive, maybe this is me being corny, but from the day my mother had my back and groomed me into this thing called showbiz, I believed everything she said. I believed every word. I believed she's the reason why I'm here. So if the woman whose body I came out of says I'm gonna be all right, all right.
And I think that this is everybody loves a good comeback story.
Well, then be ready, because this is gonna be a motherfucker.
So yeah, he got a little emotional. I guess he was, about to start crying there. But obviously there's no apology that's forthcoming. There's no recognition that like I put myself in this situation.
There's no acknowledgement of actions, right?
Exactly. Like it's still mostly about him. To him, and I guess every person, their life is mostly about them, but course. It's like there's no recognition. Like I started a fire that's led to this shit. I mean, that's your sketch still. Before you even get to that, was the shit you said about Lizzo that was kind of uncalled for. The stuff you've been saying for years about people that's been just kind of mean and over the top, and it's like some weird sympathy for the devil mathematics you have to like skip over all the like pain he caused people or attempted to cause people and go, oh man, he cried, so I guess I feel bad for him now,
Okay. You cried, and that's good. Maybe that's something you need to release out your system. But what do we do after the tears? Do you turn around and you do the same thing? Do you turn around and next month, next year, next week, 5 years from now, you're going to have another topic or another person that you're going to just go after? Because the thing about a true comeback, actions have to determine that, because we live in a society where people go, don't really apologize, don't really show any remorse, and if you like them, all of a sudden, because you quote unquote forgiving them, even though they may or may not even apologize about their actions, but because you like them enough and you're in their hive, all of a sudden everything they do is right and there's no accountability.
I just can't see him even having a hive or whatever. Like, it don't seem like, I just feel like that dude burned so many bridges and just said a lot of shit that was literally uncalled for. So I can't see this shit working out for him. I think or as far as if there's any, I can't see a lot of people having sympathy for him regardless, because he doesn't still seem to have any sympathy for the people that he talks shit about. And I think, sometimes it's like self-inflicted. Like,
agreed.
Part of the reason you ain't on is because how you operate when you was on.
Right.
So,
I'm supposed to feel sorry for that bitch. I don't.
University rebukes professor whose tweet about dying queen drew response from Jeff Bezos. A professor whose tweet about Queen Elizabeth II was called out by Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, among others, has been rebuked by the university where she works. Dr. Uju Anya, a professor in the Department of Modern Languages at Carnegie Mellon University, tweeted Thursday when news reports initially said the queen was in grave condition. I heard the chief monarch of a thieving, raping, genocidal empire is finally dying. May her pain be excruciating.
Oh, shots fired.
Yeah. On a day when social media was dominated by strong reactions, Bezos tweeted his own displeasure. This is someone supposedly working to make the world better? I don't think so. Wow. She shot back. May everyone you and your merciless greed have harmed in this world remember you as fondly as I remember my colonizers. Ooh, she was spitting bars.
All right.
It wasn't the first time she had a mix-up in an indirect way with Bezos. In August, she tweeted a picture of her with Chris Smalls, who's the union organizer in New York who led the first organized labor victory at an Amazon warehouse facility. Twitter ended up deleting Anya's original tweet about the queen for violating the company's rules. And later Thursday, Carnegie Mellon issued a statement about the professor's post, saying that the university did not condone the offenses and objectionable messages. She said, if anyone expecting to express anything but disdain to the monarch who supervised a government that sponsored the genocide that massacred and displaced half my family, and the consequences of which those alive today are still trying to overcome, you can keep wishing upon a star. She was spitting hot fire. I mean, I don't blame her. I hate to sound like this. Y'all know I'm not an internationalist. I don't even try to pretend to fake like that, but I stayed the fuck out of this one. I was like, I see why people going in on that white lady.
Yeah, they try to take over the world, Craig, and a lot of people is like, hey, y'all just came over here and just decided to take over our island, take over our country, change our ways, make us speak your language. We still use your money even though you're no longer here. And, it's one of those things where everybody doesn't have this love for the queen like y'all do over there. And they're not obligated to.
Yeah. And my main thing is not even like, I get why they're saying what they're saying. I get why the people that feel bad about her dying are saying what they're saying. It's just, as a Black American, this one ain't my fight. It ain't really have nothing to do with me.
Nope.
I don't need to defend her. I don't need to attack her. I think a lot of people that went in on social media from America are kind of doing so out of like they would call it solidarity. I would not call it that. I think it's just kind of like, like a mean person pile. It's like you're playing the mean dozens. It's like live tweeting the fucking Game of Thrones. Like it's not. It's very inconsequential to them, and like just because they watch like The Crown on Netflix isn't the same as like, having your literally having like generations of your family that have dealt with this. And so some of it's solidarity, some of it's just petty mean bullshit. But either way, not my fight and not really something I even want to get involved in.
Nope.
I don't think she's under any real threat to lose her job because she has tenure and shit. What I found funny though, Karen, okay. See, they don't want to talk about this part. But like 3 weeks ago, guess who else was trying to get her fired from her job?
Who?
Black Twitter.
Oh yeah, they don't have no loyalty.
You didn't see that coming though. So you knew?
No. It's one of the things we said. Black Twitter was like, yeah, they'll change at the drop of a hat.
At least pretend to be shocked. Damn.
My bad. They ain't got no loyalty.
So when I saw her trending the other day, I was just like, oh, that's her name seemed familiar, but I don't remember that much. I don't know that much about it. And once again, not my fight. Good luck.
Right.
But apparently 3 weeks ago, I remember they were trying to get her up out of here because she used the term akata.
What's
you know
that?
what akata is?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so akata is like a technical term that Africans, normally Black Africans, use against Black Americans. It's like a slur. It's an insult.
That's not good.
Yeah, Bossy said it mean cotton picker, which look, I don't speak any of these languages. This is just what I was told. But
I can see that. Yeah, like y'all out there picking that cotton.
Yeah, the term akata is a West African term for Black Americans. It is generally considered derogatory or slur in fact. So apparently she was using that on her social media when talking bad or saying shit about Black Americans. No shade to the good sis. However, akata needs to quit with these assumptions that their Blackness is the only one alive in the Americas. Mexico has a large, thriving Black population, especially Oaxaca, I think is how you pronounce it, Veracruz and Guerrero, a location of popular destination Acapulco. Addressing the critical problem of systemic racism and exclusion of African Americans from the language education. Wait, what does that one have anything to do with it? That doesn't seem too bad. Oh, they're trying to say like, oh, look at her calling us akata, but then here she is at this seminar speaking on African Americans and language education.
Right.
Okay, I see what they're saying. Another one, she said, thought this was the year of the return. NEPA couldn't bring back small light even for akata, which is, I don't know. So anyway, literally just a few weeks ago, Black Twitter was, she need to be fired. Here's a petition to get her fired. They were looking for 500 signatures.
She made them mad.
Yeah, like it was not that long ago. Like, and it's funny. Yeah, 4 months ago. So it's funny seeing now all these new signers to the petition that's really mad about the queen. They don't care about niggas either.
We'll get y'all up to 500.
She wished death on the queen. She need to die. Like it's
that. Yeah, that's gonna be the thing. You gonna see a flag with a power fist along with a flag with an American eagle. Like these shits don't go together. What's happening here?
The tennis ball, the hot potato that racism is so funny in America, dog. This shit is hilarious. Like and then of course the people that founded this petition are the foundational Black Americans, which is like they go by FBA. They're the people that typically are trying to like be racist towards people that's not like Black people that's not originally generationally come from the slave trade. So it's like if you're a Jamaican American and you, even though your family was enslaved in Jamaica or whatever, that don't count. You
Yeah,
got
it
to be
does.
Black American only. You don't know where your people come from, possibly type of Black.
What's
Just
wrong with people? That's stupid.
this rabbit hole it had me cackling the other day because I was like, what? Where I know her name from? Did I look this up? I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Niggas wanted her fired. Oh wait, the niggas that wanted her fired are some of the wackest niggas on the globe.
Mhm.
Oh man, but yeah, what a time to be alive.
She changed, so they changed too, and they'll find something else to fall out with her about in about another month or two.
Yeah, it's just I think all the people that are kind of like, I think when you say stuff like that on Twitter, if you got the cloud or whatever, you just gonna end up with pushback. Like, I think there's a lot of Black people and whatnot that support her that probably don't even know she said that Akata shit and wouldn't support that. But now they will feel like they're in a position where they need to defend it or allow it, or if she's even tacitly apologizing, like, oh yeah, it's all good now, because they need to have that, like, we getting the queen today, agenda of the day. Let's see. Nick, speaking of agenda of the day, Nicki Minaj comes for Real Housewives. Garcelle, I'll never know how to pronounce the name. Beauvais?
Well, I said this sounds like some news for Justin.
I can see that. But yeah, so she comes for Garcelle B. That's what we'll say. Over sexual assault victim interview. So she was on The Real, and she had Garcelle, and she had sat down and interviewed Jennifer Hoff, who is the woman who, I mean, legally he was convicted. Nicki Minaj's husband, Kenneth Petty, was convicted of sexually assaulting her.
Okay, in the court of law.
Yes.
Okay.
And when she was doing, and so they interviewed her, and when she was kind of doing this roundtable of like, interviews and stuff, round circuit of interviews, because Nicki Minaj was attacking her, trying to discredit her. Literally, there's a new trial about that was about to happen. So, it's been a year, but apparently in the Real Housewives world online, someone has been attacking, a bunch of trolls online, bots have been attacking the 15-year-old son of Garcelle B. On social media. Yeah, his name is Jax. And so Nicki went on her radio show and blasted Garcelle and her son. And
what the child got to do with anything?
Right. Because in her mind, it made it sound like in her mind, the assumption being people saying Nicki hired these bots to harass this kid and this woman. And in her mind, you interviewing this woman who accused Petty of sexually assaulting her at knife point when they were both 16 years old. And, it's Nicki saying, no, that's not what happened at all. It's, even though he's been convicted, it's all made up and a misunderstanding. And this woman's just, trying to get us. He was later convicted of first-degree attempted rape, but not for assault. According to a records obtained by The Blast, Petty denied the allegations at the time. So on The Real, Huff shared her concerns about coming forward against Minaj's husband. I don't want to be afraid anymore, so the only way to not be afraid is to speak up. At the time of the interview, Huff was suing Petty and Minaj for harassment and intimidation. But despite the fact that this interview went down last year, Minaj chose Sunday to go after Garcelle and her son for her discussion with Huff.
Did something come out or something change?
No.
Or she just felt like talking
It was just, she just felt like
Okay.
it. If anything, people were like, as a storyline, people were saying like, why are these people attacking this woman and her kid with bots? Because it's obvious these are bots. It's like, why are these bots attacking these people on social media? And the speculation was like, is it another castmate? Is it something else?
Like
and so
what is causing this problem?
Maybe that speculation led Nicki to be like, let me get out here and take credit for what I've done, or at least allude to having some involvement or having beef with these people. But Jax has also been receiving a barrage of racist and demeaning messages over the last few months. Now this lady's on Real Housewives talking about leave my son alone, said Minaj on her radio show, according to Yahoo Sports. Bitch, if you can't stand to feel the motherfucking heat, then get the fuck out of the kitchen, bitch. And it's bad now where like other people who have spoken up on social media or talk bad about what Nicki's doing, they're being harassed. And there's a woman that's posting like her screenshots from them calling her phone.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Just threatening her.
Yep.
Just telephone numbers and text messages and shit like that.
Yes. And then you know what's wild to me though? Because it's not, I don't know, funny, ironic, not funny, but ironic funny. That same person had to post like a tweet explaining like, I'm looking for a lawyer to help me. If anyone's ever gone through something like this, let me know, blah, blah, right? Cool. But because that person has like expressed prison abolition, justice reform type things in the past, they had to put another tweet up like, I'm still for justice reform, but just in this case, I would like restorative justice and the legal system ahead. And I was thinking to myself, like, this is why I never say shit like that.
Nope.
Because I would never really mean it.
And I don't believe it. I know I would not.
I just know I wouldn't mean it. Like,
correct.
It's easy to say in theory.
Yes.
When something like this happened to you, you're going to use whatever legal system resources you have because motherfuckers not going to stop because you can't have restorative justice from people that don't care.
Right.
Like, what do you do with people that just go, I'm going to harass you anyway. Ha, 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 bitch, kill yourself, blah, blah, blah.
I don't care nothing about your rules or your restorative justice.
Yeah, I'm all on your phone. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Like, yeah, you're not going to be able to stop that. So I don't even know, but it was funny because it reminded me of that podcast I listened to where they talked to this woman who was a restorative justice advocate, prison abolition and stuff. And I love that interview because she was the realest criminal justice reform person I've ever heard talk about shit. And I wish I knew the podcast off the top of my head, but I don't. But because she was it is incongruent the way people talk about justice reform online, because justice reform online is very much like, it doesn't matter if someone's been murdered or raped or whatever.
Right.
I am so criminal justice reform. I am so prison abolitionist. I would not even send a rapist or a murderer to jail. I don't care. I forgave my rapist. That's how dope I am, whatever. But at the same time, be the same people that's mad whenever you see a black person forgive like a mass shooter or forgive a racist person.
That's restorative justice too, baby.
They always get mad about that. The other thing they got mad at that dude, Christian, what's his name, for not wanting to be involved in the legal.
Cooper.
He didn't want to be involved in the legal system. And they got mad at him, even though they claim that, restorative justice. We shouldn't be trying to. And they get mad at celebrities. Like they
do.
Chris Brown actually did some of the restorative justice steps of admitting fault and all this shit. It's been years. They still don't want that man to have a career. Now they can't stop him.
No.
But anytime his name comes up, it's like, man, fuck that guy, right? It's never. It's like people have these quote unquote principles, but she was saying how the principles are only about things that really affect them. And the things that really affect them is not necessarily the abstract concept of someone else being murdered, raped, assaulted, whatever. That abstract thing is not something that exists on Twitter.
Right.
What does exist on Twitter is stuff like this, online harassment. So once it comes to like being online harassed yourself, now the wheels of justice, the system
needs to go
wherever you can access. You like, can we get on this? Let's get this shit to clicking because these motherfuckers are threatening me, and more than likely nothing will come of these type of threats. But it's annoying, it's harassment, and you just don't fucking know. You won't feel safe. You get anxiety, so it makes sense to worry about this shit. But this is real, is my point. So when something real happens to you, it is time to get the lawyers. It is time to get these motherfuckers to cease and desist. And I don't even blame you one bit, but it's just funny that a statement even needs to be made because someone might be looking at you going, well, that ain't what you said about my rape. You said I'm supposed to just turn the other cheek and educate them and rehabilitate them and shit. And now when it's you just getting text messages, you already ready to call the lawyer,
Agreed. And it's one of those things. I never said that shit because I do not stand behind it. I understand it. In a righteous, equal world, okay, but we don't live in that bitch. So since we don't, you fuck me up, I'm calling the police. What else the fuck I'm gonna do? I don't want to go no board, no council meeting. I don't want to go to your mom and them. I don't want to go to no motherfucking tribe that don't got no jurisdiction and can't take care of shit when shit goes sideways. No, thank you.
Yeah, they just never address the person that says, I do want them locked up. And the fact that that's a lot of people.
Right.
There's a lot of people that don't want that shit until it happened to them. You know? And then they never address the fact that when someone is like that, they typically call that motherfucker a fool. Whenever somebody is of the type to be like, you know what, man, I'm moving on. It's they be like, what do you mean? So you just letting a racist do such and such? You know, I'll never forget when I saw that clip of that father who forgave this man who killed his daughter. And it, you know, it was all religious and forgiveness and all this shit. And he, of course, had years to sit with this shit,
right, and process.
And this was his victim statement in the court, knowing that this man was going to get convicted anyway. But you know, this is what he said, and the reaction was not all this restorative justice shit. Like, people are full of shit with that, and you know, like I've made note of it in my mind at the time. It was like uniform disgust, almost zero people were like, that's his right, and if we believe in restorative justice, we have to understand that this person might be a murderer. But that clip went on the social media, and everybody was like, man, fuck the dude, not just the dude who killed him, fuck the father who forgave him,
right? Because they're not about forgiveness.
Yeah, the dude that hugged that Botham John's brother, that hugged that.
Yes,
people do not believe in that shit. But
no,
anyway,
they don't.
Anyway, it was just interesting because I saw other people being harassed, and you know, it's interesting they even felt the need to make that statement. But like, Nicki is also just this example to me of what happens when you fucking hate. When you have one of these hate hives, the stand things, and you buy into it. Like when you're like, no, they're telling me I can do no wrong. And it is a game for a lot of these people online. This, you know, when I talk about even with us having fans, it's not a matter of like disrespect, but no, I don't trust the idea of fans, because fans will lead people wrong and let you be wrong as fuck because of the fun and the enjoyment they have of even interacting. Like she's liking and quoting and quote tweeting and retweeting.
You're an avatar to them.
Yeah, and but it's not just an avatar. No, she's liking and quote tweeting and celebrating the vile things these people say.
Okay, I'm with
this
you.
Is even worse than like when someone
she's
says,
involving herself.
You know, I'm a fan of Doja Cat, and then they just like it's all sharing Doja Cat videos or whatever the fuck. But it's like this is essentially like sports, but for people that don't like sports. You know what I mean?
Yeah, their
like,
version of it. Yes.
It's their version of it. It's like how you can like the Panthers, but the Panthers can hire a person that has been accused of like beating their wives or something. And there are a certain type of fan that's like at the game selling t-shirts like, bitch, make me a sandwich. That's what the internet hive can be, that person.
Right.
Where the majority of fans might be like, I like the Panthers, but I wish they didn't hire that guy. There's a certain rabid hive of fan base that is like, I'm leaning into this.
Yeah, the extremes.
Yes. And the worst thing that can happen is when the celebrity links up with that group of fans, because it is like just a chamber that just keeps getting worse and worse and escalating. It seemed like that's what happened to Nicki. Like there was a time where she may have seemed somewhat reasonable or whatever, but she is retreated into like the most extreme, wild people having the hottest takes, and then her going, that's the truth, and this is what really happened. Ever since like she got with this dude, even before that, when she was like hating on all the other women rappers, that the women that like looked up to her and didn't even say nothing bad about her, she still was coming in on them. Ever since then, man, it's like something happened to her, and it's just, God, it's really been terrible to watch what's happened to her.
Yeah, and
really.
I don't know what's happening or what's going on, but it sounds like it's some internal stuff that needs to be addressed. And it's when you don't address things, they come out one way or another, whether you want them to or not. And this is her way of expressing those things, and it just happened to be in a very, very negative manner as far as like how it's viewed and how it's perceived online.
Oh man, but yeah, she also went on to say, "Did you care about my motherfucking son, bitch? I see why that white man left you, bitch." And I guess Apple hosts this podcast, radio show, or whatever, and I guess they really don't care.
Very high ratings.
Yeah, they really don't care. And I mean, if this is the kind of stuff she's willing to do, it makes people tune in or it makes people talk about it later. So I guess that's good. I mean, we're talking about it. So, but man, it's just, I don't know. That was just some crazy internet shit.
Yeah, and truth be told, people like mess. So it's one of those things where a lot of people tune in just to see the house burn.
In other news on social media, I didn't see the whole video. I saw like a picture of it, but Philadelphia rapper PnB reportedly shot in Los Angeles.
Oh no.
Yeah, and the video went viral on social media, or at least people were sharing. I don't know if it went viral, but it was gruesome footage showing him bleeding on a restaurant floor. Oh. And then people are saying, well, not saying, we do know this happened, but he posted on Instagram his Instagram story of him wearing several chains. And then his girlfriend shared a photo of their meal where they went out to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles.
Okay.
And so people are thinking somebody was following his social media, realized, okay, he's got these chains on and we know where he's at, and went to rob him and ended up shooting him. He's in the hospital right now. His condition is unknown.
And he's how old? Like, is he a younger rapper? Because I don't know who he is.
I have to look up his age, but he looks like a younger rapper.
Okay.
But man, these rappers now, man, you barely get to know them.
Right. All types of talent.
Well, he's 30. He's 30.
Okay. All types of talent just gone.
Yeah. So it's just. And these, honestly, man, these people are like right now are so on the streets, like wolf season, like wanting, like actively stalking, hunting, and looking to rob and kill these rappers. Right. And it's happening a lot. Like,
yep.
Pop Smoke, like all these dudes, that shit just a few weeks ago, that dude that said my enemies post his location, and then they showed up to his house and killed him. Like, rap is it's different right now, man. It might be deadlier now for all the like they soft and look at these little kids in the skinny jeans type shit that our generation talks. These niggas right now hard as fuck. They're killing the shit out of people. Like, you could barely get the fucking listen. I mean, and with social media, everybody's sharing shit so easily. Like, you signing your death sentence and you don't even fucking know it, because like that genre of music and fan base right now is just Wolf City.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where you're not kidding each other on a mic. Like, it's like, okay, I won't even get to Lily rap again. Like, I'm just gone.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a sad story. And then people had a bunch of discourse about sharing the video, not sharing the video, describing the video, not describing the video. It was like, guys, I don't think any of that's that important right now. Person is dead. Possibly. Like that, like someone is in the hospital and fighting for their life, possibly, and we arguing over, did you share the video or did you not share it? That's you part of the problem. I didn't shoot nobody. I didn't share the video, but I also didn't shoot nobody. I really think even if you shared the video, you didn't kill anybody, and people can just unfollow you or block you or turn off media, whatever.
Agreed.
Ana de Armas breaks down in tears as Blonde, the movie where she's portraying Marilyn Monroe, stuns with 14-minute standing ovation in Venice. Here's my point. I don't give a fuck about this movie or Anna. No offense to Anna. 14 minutes standing ovation.
Y'all ain't got nothing else to do.
This is starting to feel like the ovation is supposed to justify. It's the new review. It's supposed to substitute for if the movie is good or not. The headlines just talk about how long the ovations are. Brendan Fraser gets this one. So-and-so gets this many minutes. It's like, oh, well, an 8-minute ovation is not as good as a 14-minute ovation. So her movie must be a Oscar winner. Like, I don't know who all's there.
That. Right. We don't know who the audience is. We don't know, because not trying to find there's a lot of shit. Oh, but like this, me and Roger have been film critics long enough to know it's a lot of shit that they raved about. That shit came out and it was like rocks. People were like, who? What? That shit. People was like, I'm not watching that. So okay.
It's just like, did y'all like pay these people? Chris was telling me from MTR network that it's a lot of people that at these premieres are people that contribute to the film and spouses and and family members. And I'm like, maybe that explains it, because 14 minutes is just ridiculous.
Ain't it though?
That's worse than just when you go to a regular movie and the stars aren't there and people stand up and clap. This is worse.
Well, you got home field advantage. No wonder why they clapping so long.
It used to be, it used to be not as bad, but like 14, and then the fact that they're reporting it. Don't report that. Was the movie good?
Right. Was the acting good?
The title of this review should be like, she stuns in this movie in this role, not 14-minute ovation. We are so obsessed with fucking spectacle at this point. It's spectacle over everything.
Over
Is
content,
the shit good?
yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Is it good? Because don't nobody give a fuck if it's trash.
Right. The movie was, I didn't watch the movie. 14 minutes, like, come on. Yeah, someone brought up that they think she just came out of nowhere. Anna de Armas. That's not true. She's just everywhere right now. But Anna is 34 years old. And she has been acting for a long ass time. Like
a lot of times when they be like, just found you. No, these people, particularly black and brown and others, they've been around a long time before they get recognized for their work.
She's been acting since 2006. That's 16 years. Keep in mind, of course, a lot of these were movies and shows that Americans don't watch like that.
Right.
But nah, she's actually been around for a long ass time, and she's just now the it girl. I hope she rides this thing as long as she can, because I don't blame her for being everywhere. These motherfuckers will absolutely get a new nigga tomorrow. All right, let's talk about something else. Let's get into a different segment. Let's do maybe some let's do some fucking with black people. How about that? If I can find the music. Here we go. Oh, wait. I'm going to do the short one.
Okay.
Hey, we're just fucking with them people because they black. We're just fucking with them people because they black. We're just fucking with them black people. We're just fucking with them blacks. We're just fucking with the black people. Hey, hey,
Crossing over with Nerd Off news and fucking with black people today. Multiversus, the game that has all the like WB properties fighting each other.
Yes, we've been seeing commercials and stuff for it. Yes.
Yeah. Well, apparently Multiversus had to remove the police from Velma from Scooby-Doo's special moves. So one of her special moves is to pull out a wanted poster of old man Jenkins.
Yeah. Not old man Jenkins.
Point at the opponent that she's fighting,
and
then the police come in the game and run him over with a car, I believe. Here's a video.
Oh, who thought that was smart?
Down plus triangle to call the police. The ultimate Karen move.
You're in big trouble now. Awesome.
In this case, we saw the police arrest LeBron James.
That's hilarious.
And drive off the side of the road. And I guess that's her finishing move or something. So yeah, a lot of people felt like that should not be in there because it could be pretty bad. So they patched it. Instead of calling police, Velma now solves the mystery, calling the Mystery Inc. gang, and the mystery machine takes away the bad guys.
That's better.
No reason for the change was given, but the image of Velma calling the cops on her opponents under false pretenses, no less, because she tells them that it's actually old man Jenkins, is at least very uncomfortable in a time when police abuses and criminality amidst almost complete impunity from consequences are coming under increased public scrutiny.
I know there was like, we just made a video game. We thought it was funny, but that's what happens when you don't have people that somebody review that going, that's not a good look. I think I might want to take that out.
Yeah, it's turning Velma into a Karen. My only problem, I'm not offended by the move. I think it's actually kind of funny. Even if they would have left it in.
Right.
But my main problem is that's more of a Daphne move than a Velma move. I mean, come on. Daphne's a Karen. Velma's not a Karen. Come on, guys. She reads bell hooks. But yeah, 0 to 100.
This one is going to get a 25 because I'm not really that fuck with, because I'm like, I'm trying to funny. It's a video game. It's a few seconds. They take you off the screen, and then you move on. You know, it ain't like she does that, and then they just come and pull out the billy sticks and like whip your ass off the screen. So I do it a 25 for the fact that y'all didn't consider it being problematic.
All right, I give it 0. I'm not fucked with either way. New York clergy to repay $800K in kickbacks from sale of black churches. A group of New York clergy took more than $1 million from a real estate developer who sought to turn distressed black churches into lucrative properties, according to settlements with the state's attorney general. The settlements show that a bishop, 2 pastors, and a pastor's wife sought to conceal the kickbacks from congregations that own the buildings, as well as for state officials. The funds were taken even as the developer Mujan Vadat allegedly failed to live up to promises made to the churches in the purchase agreements. In one case, he's accused of trying to evict the congregation from the building it once owned. 2 African Methodist Episcopal clergy members have agreed to pay back more than $800,000 to the state of New York, according to the settlements, which were posted on the Attorney General's website last month. Vadat is also signed a settlement with the Attorney General, offering to make good on his company's promises to the churches or allow them back out of their deals. Retired AME Bishop Gregory G.M. Ingram, who previously oversaw the church's first Episcopal district, which covers most of the Northeast United States, agreed to pay back $600,000 in finder's fees he got from the sale of the church properties. The bishop also agreed to sell a Rolex he got as a kickback. Boy, honk for the Lord. Former First Episcopal District presiding elder Melvin Wilson, these sound like niggas, who worked for Ingram, agreed to pay back $200,000 with an additional $101,075 in restitution suspended. News of the settlements led the AME Council of Bishops to condemn the actions of their clergy colleagues. Kickbacks, dog. Come on, man. The condemnation came after the settlements, which were signed in 2021, were made public. Oh, what is done in the dark will come to light, boy. So yeah, 0 to 100, Karen.
Oh, this gets a 100 because a lot of black churches have problems when gentrification happens. A lot of times you have these black churches in these neighborhoods that have been there forever, and this happening all around town. I seen in Charlotte, there's one black church downtown. Them niggas just refuse to sell, but yeah, that's because they can afford it, so they just paid the property tax or whatever. Like, bitch, we ain't moving. We just gonna be down here amongst the skyscrapers because we not selling this shit. But everybody else, they basically force them to leave or just buy the shit up and be like, y'all can't leave. But this church is so old that they actually own the property and the building and paid it off, wherever go. And so the congregation basically just paid the property taxes on it, but that's why the building is still there. But they've been offered a lot of money. They just refuse to sell. And so it's very frustrating when you have people that love their churches and shit like that to turn around and find out something like this, because they'll be like, well, bitch, what's my tithes and offering been going? Mm-hmm. You lied to us. If I was a member of this church, I would be highly,
especially
very
getting
upset.
Evicted. And then, like, do you pretend that you're not in on the eviction? That y'all didn't sell the shit? That, like, oh man, I'm as shocked as y'all as you looking on your Rolex. Well, it's about time for me to move on my new Rolex. Looking at my Rolex, it's about that time,
Right. We in here ain't got no air conditioning, still using Martin Luther King fans and shit.
Right.
And y'all getting goddamn kickbacks. It's going to be a problem.
Yeah, that's 100 for me. What about you?
Oh yeah, it's a 100. And I hope you don't think that well, put it like this. because niggas love church. A lot of them will stay.
Mm-hmm.
But you're gonna have a percentage of people that was like, fuck that and fuck you too. And you just won't get, all of a sudden you won't even have the money and the funds, particularly if you're using the church to pay these things back. And also, why didn't they get stripped of their duties and shit like that? Why don't y'all go in and be like, y'all cannot hold these positions no more? Because you have showed us that you are not good students of this.
Right. Yeah. Like is it elected position? Is it like, how do you just continue to hold that position? Or will there be consequences now that it's public? Maybe people didn't even know about this.
Correct.
But now it's public.
Yeah, people didn't know. So if I was bought, I'd vote you out, because I was like, no, what you're not gonna do is hold this position, because not trying funny, it would have been different if you would have did it the right way and the churches would have been involved and known, that'd have been different, and everything probably would have been more public. But for the fact that y'all kept it public because it was going directly to you and not to the church, it become a problem.
Last one, first class arrogance. New Orleans Democrat mayor says flying economy is unsafe for Black women as she refuses to pay $30,000 of taxpayer cash she splurged on luxury flights to Europe.
What?
Oh man, yo, that is so creative.
Who her best friend, Smuggy?
Oh
man, look, I hear you. It's funny to me too. I mean, it's strange to me too.
That must have been her. They're like, well, why you need $30,000 to fly to Europe? Listen, it ain't safe for a Black woman nowhere in America, okay, except first class. New Orleans Democrat mayor who has declared economy class flights unsafe for Black women, while insisting she won't repay $30,000 of taxpayers' money blown on first class flights to France and Switzerland. Speaking at a press conference,
you doing business? Because if you weren't doing business, yes, you do got to pay that money back. You can't just be taking the taxpayers' money and just flying.
Even if you were doing business, I don't think you can just rack up $30,000 worth of first class flights.
Not for right. That's a lot of fucking money.
That's but Thursday she said, her name is Latoya Cantrell. My travel accommodations are a matter of safety, not of luxury. As a woman, as all women know, our health and safety is often disregarded. We are left to navigate alone. As the mother of a young child whom I live for, I am going to protect myself by any reasonable means in order to ensure I am there to see her grow into the strong woman I'm raising her to be. Anyone who wants to question how I protect myself just doesn't understand the world Black women walk in.
Bravo. She was like, y'all be letting these white folks floss. Bitch, I'm a floss too.
Boy, oh my God.
She's like, what you not gonna do?
The audacity. She has repeatedly refused to repay the cost of luxury American Airlines flight from Washington Dulles Airport to Switzerland for herself in July, despite a city ban on luxury air travel. So ain't nobody supposed to be doing luxury flight. But she's like, as a Black woman,
ain't nobody supposed to be doing it.
Maybe you whites can use your privilege to sit in economy, but as a Black woman, I
will not.
She has repeatedly, she spent around $10,000 on her own flatbed seat and blew a similar amount on a first class return to France earlier this year, while her aides traveled in coach.
Oh no, not put a, she ain't bumping down her business. She said coach.
Her aides better not be Black women.
Them niggas sitting at the back of the plane with their knees all scrunched up in their chest.
All I know is this. If they look at her aides and any of them are Black women, she's a goddamn lie. It's like, well, why you ain't spraying for your aides to have first class? Ain't they Black and unsafe? She defended her luxury tickets as both doing business on behalf of the city and because she believes it wouldn't be safe for her to travel in economy. While the mayor sat in first class, a team, including her security details, they can't even secure you. They in the back.
I hope nothing happen. It's gonna take them 3 minutes to get to you. They're gonna be not knocking over the flight attendants to get to you.
All expenses incurred doing business on behalf of the city of New Orleans will not be reimbursed to the city of New Orleans, she said. One thing is clear, I do my job and will continue to do it with distinction and integrity every step of the way. And so that's what I have to say on that. Yes, sis. Not that that's what I got to say on that. And that's a fact.
Out here like Mama D.
In that order. Oh man, I'm gonna miss her when she get arrested.
You know she is, and when she get voted out of that office, honey.
When she go to jail, boy,
ooh, they gonna lock her ass up.
it is gonna be so sad.
You got because they trying to get their money back. They're like, just pay us. They was like, you pay us, we call it even. Only reason why this became news because she refused to pay.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to jail.
Oh my God.
Yeah, baby, they're gonna come and get you.
I mean, they already be counting black people money to the penny when you get elected, but I'm not gonna lie, $40,000 trips to France is just kind of pushing it. She said, "I'm a black woman, though." Listen, okay, they don't got bonnets and Coach. Okay, I need silk pillows around my motherfucking first class seat. Oh my God.
I don't want y'all regular ass snacks. I want the good ones.
Yeah, in January, she spent $2,300 to fly first class to a conference mayor's meeting in Washington, D.C. The rest of her entourage paid $250. Ooh, what the fuck are those seats like?
I told you, they is folded up down there with the luggage. They is sitting there beside they on the outside of the wing, bitch. $200. Where's you flying? You flying your fine spirit? Goddamn.
They sitting on the motherfucking, they in the overhead compartment.
Folded up and shit. Can barely breathe.
The whole rest of the entourage paid $200. Okay. Or maybe it's per person. It gotta be per person. Then in March, she spent $2,800 on first class to Miami for a conference of mayors gathering. The cost is 9 times more than the $342 fare the NOPD superintendent Sean Ferguson paid. Other city staffers paid $677 to take the trip. That's about 9 times the $342.
And they was probably like business. They was like, okay, I'm not gonna fly. I'll bump it up to business.
Coming to summer, 2 pricey jaunts to Europe saw Mayor Cantrell and 3 of her top aides spend more than $40,000 to travel to France, which she defended by drawing on the city's heritage. You're talking about France, from which we've come, meaning part of the fabric of the city of New Orleans. You're talking about France that has an ambassador living in the city of New Orleans. Life. Listen, I love her. I'm a hustler, baby.
Come on, she out to eating all the best pizza.
I just want you to know,
drinking all the wine, viewing the Eiffel Tower and shit. She having a good time.
Oh, she said it with a French accent.
Oui, bitch. Oui. Mm-hmm.
She was eating
everybody else riding the public transportation and shit.
She eating a baguette.
Come on, baguette.
The mayor's first class.
She out here in a gondola, bitch, and they out here going, where the mayor? Well, don't nobody know.
The mayor, I think gondolas is Italy, but yeah, the mayor's first class flight. They probably got them in France. The mayor's first class flight costs $11,000 more than the equivalent economy class ticket purchased by her communications officer, Gregory Joseph. Well, he's a man, so he was safe. I do travel business class. Absolutely. I need to be protected. I need to be safe as I do business on behalf of the city of New Orleans, she said. A week after returning from France, the mayor was back across the pond once again, this time to Ascona, Switzerland, to sign a sister city agreement. I know she was looking. I just want to see her PowerPoint of the sister cities, and the one she was like,
I'm not going there.
Yeah, like, you want to sign a sister agreement with Chernobyl? Nope. Well, you know what? Where does Swiss Alps at? What they doing over there?
I don't even ski. I just want to go.
Is Copenhagen already somebody's sister city? Okay, too late. Okay, then don't even worry about it. We got some, some African, the Africa and the roots of black people that also made up New Orleans. Nah, let's not do anywhere in Africa. I'm really looking more for like a Dutch type situation. I'm looking for look, you got
Copenhagen. Y'all got something like that?
Does Amsterdam? They already signed up because we have a rich, lucrative drug trade here. Her flight cost just over $9,800. They're spending more than $11,000 on the 6-day trip. Dillard University public policy professor Robert Collins said the mayor could easily argue that she is a city employee despite her elected status. It's sort of like saying the president of the United States is not an employee of the federal government. He draws a salary. Of course he is. It's like saying the governor of Louisiana is not an employee of the state government. Of course he is. He is the CEO of the state government. So to pretend there's some sort of legal difference between being an elected official who draws a salary from the government agency and an employee of that government agency, I think is problematic. Ooh, girl. Good luck, because when they catch your ass, ooh. But I love to see it. Okay, she over there getting them beans, greens, tomatoes, potatoes,
everything, honey.
Okay.
She about to come back with all the souvenirs.
Mm-hmm.
You know they love when she go out of town.
I know she bring back all the.
She bring back
Actually, the way she bringing back gifts for her family, I don't think it don't seem like she giving money that other people got to fly coach. So
oh yeah, the gifts just for her family.
Yeah, she coming back with them Toblerones. She come back with them triangle chocolates. Like, girl, you should have been there. I was there. I was just way in the back end, coach. Oh yeah, you was there.
Right, she gonna come back with the real French baguettes. I was like, how did you sneak this shit through the airport?
Girl, I was hanging out with all the French people. Macron, Pepe Le Pew.
Come on. Girl, have you tried these macaroons? Girl, they delicious. I don't think that's what they call them, but you know them color cookies that like they dipped in paint. They good.
They was so good, girl. You should have had some. Well, we don't get those in coach. They only serve those on the first class lay down seats.
Yeah.
Oh, you right. You right.
Oh, so they didn't oven toast your pizza in front of you on the open flame.
Oh no. Oh no. You didn't get that brie cheese with the baguette? No. Oh, y'all, what y'all get back in some peanuts. Oh, okay. That's cool too. That's cool, girl.
That's nice.
You know me. I'm just saving. I'm just trying to protect black women at all times. You know, and by black women, I say
do this for my child.
This is self-care. You start with yourself first. You got to start. You got to practice self-care. Okay. In first class, it's self-care, okay?
Yeah, you know her hair been done, her nails be done, her toes be done, and
oh my God.
Her skin be glistening.
I have to look up her age now.
Her lips be popping.
I have to look up the age to the New Orleans mayor, see if I can find any because I think
say y'all talk to them.
If this is her, because I feel like if this is her reasoning, she almost can't hire another black woman. You see what I'm saying? Because if she hire another black woman, then people can immediately point out the flaw of like, well, you fly first class and your aides don't. How does that make sense? Because you just said that black women are only safe in first class on a flight.
You're like, what is happening?
Yeah, I see city council members of black women. I don't see her aide. They don't have pictures of the aide, so maybe she's smart. She like, you know what? Don't ever put these niggas pictures out. Okay, we don't need anybody to.
Only picture they see is mine.
Yeah. Oh man. NOLA to hold mayor aides in contempt over smart city deal. So, her aides in trouble too. God damn. What is happening in New Orleans?
I don't know.
How does black woman not getting the same treatment as the mayor in Chicago and Atlanta and DC? Y'all was on them black women.
In Charlotte, they arrested that nigga in Charlotte. They were like, you can't be doing that bullshit.
Ooh, she is living it up. Oh man, I feel like she got off the plane to Good Life by Kanye West. Better than the life I live when they thought that I was gonna go crazy. And my grandmama ain't the only one calling me baby.
And then she get out of her fur coats wrapped up.
Right. And then she get off the flight, and then later, much later, the rest of the people from New Orleans got off the flight. But their song is nah, 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 nah. Wait till I get my money right.
Oh, honey, she's stepping out. She's stepping out to that Cardi red bottom shoes and shit.
I've been working this grave shift.
Yes!
I ain't made shit.
You know what, baby?
I could find me a spaceship and fly.
Oh no, they be getting like broke.
We ain't got it. Oh my God.
That's what they be doing.
Oh, I gotta get out of here. So last story. Oh my God. That's my hero.
If it ain't got no money, ain't got no car, can't get flips cash.
We broke. Broke. Oh man. World ain't safe for no black woman outside of first class.
Apparently it ain't. I didn't know that.
I can't even disagree.
Mhm.
I think most of us agree with her. So, what are we gonna say? Ooh, that's some good. Boy, listen. I blame Black Twitter. It's so easy to hustle these niggas now. Listen, the words are right there. The words are right there. Oh, this might be one of those reading articles. Let me see. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
A Florida man pulls out a 3-foot sword after police approach vehicle. Oh, wait. There's no text to this article. It's just
Okay, you might have to get another one. Then
it's just a picture of the man and the script. Okay, yeah, fuck this. Way to do the bare minimum. KRMG. Let's look up another one then. How about video shows swords being used during massive brawl in Brampton?
Not a massive brawl.
Brampton, Canada. Yep. Toronto Sun. Damn.
Oh shit.
For Canada.
Now they're fighting over maple syrup. What's happening here?
Peel Regional Police are looking to help identify a number of men involved in a brawl where even a sword was in play. Boy, crazy boy. Just keep it cool, boy.
Yes.
Oh man, we're gonna rumble, man. Sunday at 1:30 a.m., police are called to a fight involving weapons between a large group of men in a parking lot on McLaughlin Road. Well, no one was McLaughlin at this shit. Okay, It was very mixed serious when that sword came out. Several people involved in the brawl suffered non-life-threatening injuries because it's Canada still,
Oh no.
They're not gonna really hurt nobody.
They actually really nice.
Yeah, they once they cut them, it's like, oh no, you hoser or whatever.
Let me wrap that up in a maple leaf.
Yeah. Oh no, I cut you pretty bad there, eh? And then start wrapping them up. They put some maple syrup on the cut. A lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know. It works. Several people involved in the brawl suffered non-life-threatening injuries. The video of the fight, which has gone viral, shows at least a dozen men in a fight. One was swinging a sword. Men are seen punching each other, and those who fell to the ground were kicked by several others. On Tuesday, Peel Police.
Damn.
They had a press conference. We, as a police service, are aware of that. We are investigating and have identified persons of interest. Our police service is committed to holding more people accountable when they target our community. The mayor took to social media to condemn the fight. The event depicted in the video filmed at College Plaza are disturbing. The police chief assures me there will be zero tolerance for this behavior. Zero tolerance. All right. Good luck to y'all. Okay. It's hard to get the swords out the street in America. Maybe y'all have more luck than us. Here's the fight. That's a lot of dudes. Oh shit. Yeah, buddy got a sword. And he brought that thing down on him.
Oh shit, they is not playing out there.
Oh man, it's a lot of brown people too. I don't know. They just decided to meet up.
How do you meet up and decide to have a sword fight?
Right? Although I guess, can you trust somebody like, hey guys, no swords, all right? People not expecting swords. You never know. You never know to put that on the ban list.
Right?
Oh man, Buddy in the White taking the L.
Oh yeah, I will put that on the list from now on.
Yeah.
No swords.
Yeah.
Oh, they beating the hell out of that person.
Yeah, he taking the L. I know who lost the fight.
Not good, not good.
I think Buddy just said not good. Yeah, and I agree.
In
Understatement
French.
of the year. All right, child, we got to get out of here. We got a flight to France to catch first class.
Yes,
Only place we could feel safe in America is on the first class.
Nowhere
flight
else
to France. And until then, bonjour. Okay.
Oui, my nigga. Oui.
Until next time, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye, everybody.